Hi, I'm Jim Mann with Homestyle Southern Cooking, and it's nice to be back with you. Today we're going to make another pumpkin recipe. I call this my magical pumpkin cake, and you'll see why at the very end, okay? This will be a cake that I'm sure you will add to your recipe box, and this is one that you'll make more than one time. It's very simple. We will start off, you need to get 1 box of yellow cake mix. Now it doesn't have to be this name brand, any name brand that you want, okay? And we'll put that into my bowl. And we're gonna make it according to directions on the back, except for one change. The directions on the back calls for 3 eggs, a half a cup of shortening, and a cup of water. But we're going to change that cup of water to a cup of milk. So let's put these in. I'm going to put a half a cup of vegetable oil. And this could be any vegetable oil that you want to use, or any type of oil that you want to use. I'm going to use 1 cup of milk. I've got 1 cup of milk. To that, I'm going to add 3 eggs. So I've got as 1, 2, 3. Now the only other thing we're going to add differently is we've got 1 teaspoon. I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. I won't fit that in there, so I'll have to measure it out. Put 1 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice in there. And that's it for the cake part. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hand mixer here. I usually like to get it mixed around a little bit because that way it won't be so much powder flying up when I first start it on. Another little helpful hint. Okay, I think that's mixed pretty well. Okay, what we're going to do next is I've got the pan I'm going to use. Now this is a disposable pan because I'm taking this cake somewhere, but you can, if not, you can use a 9 by 13, or this is a little bit taller than 9 by, a little bit shorter, but it's taller. But I want to spray this pan really good. Okay. After I have my pan sprayed, I'm going to pour the batter into the pan. So it's pretty simple. It's just like pretty much like a store-bought cake, except you had to add milk instead of water, and I added a little bit of spice. So far we're on a pretty simple roll here. Okay, let me set this out of the way. Then I'm going to just shake it around, bump it a few times to get all the air bubbles out, and then I'm going to set that aside just for a second, okay? Next, I've got another bowl. I've got more eggs. I got a can of pumpkin. I've got a thing of carnation evaporated milk, and I've got brown sugar. So what we're going to add to this one is we're going to take our pumpkin, and we're going to put our pumpkin into the bowl. Pumpkin's such a pretty color. Of course, pumpkin will be a pretty color to me. I love it. So But this is another good one to have, you know, for the holidays coming up or any time. I mean, this is a dessert that I have made during the summer and made it all different times, and people love it. So, okay, we got our can of pumpkin in there. To that, I'm going to add, once again, I'm going to get my pumpkin spice out. Now, this seems like a lot of pumpkin spice, but it's not. I'm going to put 1 teaspoon. Into there. Onto that, I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. Now, our brown sugar is more granulated here than what you have in the States or other places, but either granulated like this or the one that you pack, but it has to be a full cup of brown sugar. And that's right at the edge. So we'll pour the brown sugar in. Then I can set these away. Now to that, I'm going to add 3 eggs. That's 1, 2. I don't know whether you can sort of imagine what's going to happen to this cake or not, because I just made a cake and it looks like I'm making a pumpkin pie now. So let's see what happens. To this, I'm going to add the evaporated milk, 1 whole can. And then I'm just going to really incorporate these really together to good together. Just stir it just a little bit more just to make sure. Now, what I'm going to do is we'll bring my cake back over here. And we'll take my pan and I'm just going to start gently pouring it over top of my cake. And I'm going to pour it everywhere. I'm going to pour it up in the corners, down the sides, I'm going to pour it pretty much all over the top of this cake. I'll make sure I get some along the sides over here. Get some on the side over here. Along the side over here. I'll pour some over here. Okay, as you can see, mix that all in together, okay? My oven's been heating at 350 degrees, and I'm going to put this in the oven for about 35 minutes. If it changes, I'll let you know. But I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven now at 350 degrees. And I'll be back with you shortly. Hi, welcome back. As you can see, I took our cake out of the oven. And I took it out so it could cool down a little bit, so I could show you how to put the icing on it. So we're going to make an icing. I know we've already got 2 steps, so this is really decadent. Okay, so what we're going to use is we're going to open a pack of Jell-O pudding. Now I've got vanilla. You could use white chocolate pudding, but what we have here is we have vanilla here, so I got vanilla. So I put the vanilla in my bowl. Once again, move this out of the way here. Once again, I'm going to put a little bit of pumpkin pie spice even in this. I probably won't put a whole teaspoon. I'll probably put like a half of a teaspoon in here. Now to this, I'm going to add 2 cups of milk, just like the package instruction says to do. That's 1, 2. We'll set this over here and set this out of my way here. Then I'll get my mixer here and see if we can stir this up some. To that, I'm going to add the 2 things of chantilly, or 1 container of Cool Whip. Like I said, this is just like Cool Whip, but we don't have Cool Whip down here. I know, it's horrible, the idea of not having Cool Whip, but we don't. So, but this is just as good. All right, there's the second container of it. I'll put these here. Now we'll try to mix, see if I can get these all incorporated together. I got to take this out, and I'll use a spoon the rest of the way. Okay, then we get to the point where we'll just take this, and we're going to put this on top of our cake. Push this around top here. Doesn't have to be perfect. But you do want to wait till this cools down just a little bit, because when you take that right out of the oven, it's kind of hot to put the Cool Whip and the pudding right on top of it. I probably could have used just 1 container of the chantilly, but it said 8 ounces, so I used 2. But I'm sure I'll find something to spread that on. Okay, and there we go. There is your magical pumpkin cake. Now we'll cut into it. And we'll cut a line straight down here. Now cut a piece right across here. Let me see if I can get my spatula underneath here and lift that up. I didn't get far enough underneath there, so sorry about that. I left the crust underneath of there. Well, the crust goes underneath of it. I didn't go down deep enough. But anyhow, this sits on top of it. It makes its own crust, and the flavors together are unbelievable. I'm gonna try a piece of it to see. You've got your pumpkin, you've got your cake, you've got your Cool Whip. If you make this once, you'll make it more than once. This is oh my goodness. This is a real winner. You need to try this one, okay? Thanks once again for letting me come into your home. I hope you'll try this. I'm on Facebook. If you would follow me on Facebook, and if you like this recipe, hit like and share it. I'm also on YouTube. If you subscribe to it, you'll get all the recipes that I put out all the time. So thank you so much for having me. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Take care of yourselves. And know that this is Jim Mann in Mexico saying take care and God bless.